You don't think it's not killing Triple H that he can't work anymore? You don't think that's not killing him inside? He sees Goldberg return. He sees The Undertaker on NXT. You don't think that's eating him up? And then now all of a sudden, look, bro, everyone Triple H has a problem with, there's one thing they got in common. They're all impressive looking.
Let's go. Drew McIntyre commented on the current roster of Logan Paul's podcast. He said, "These days, no offense, anybody." I said this to my youngest son, man. He has this thing now where he's 10 years old, and he'll say no offense, and they'll say the most offensive thing.
Oh, he's learning well. Yeah, because you can't get in trouble if you say no offense.
No offense, but that guy right there. Does he watch
Curb Your Enthusiasm? Is that what he's going to do?
No, he doesn't. No offense, but that guy there is pretty. He's pretty fat. You know, he'll just say no offense, and I'm like, okay. As soon as he say it, I'm like, okay. What do you got to say that's offensive? And people usually say that. And Drew says it right here. He says, no offense, but 85% of our guys don't look like they should be in WWE. My buddies, they'll turn on the wrestling. They'll turn on the wrestling for a while to see what you're up to. It's cool to see people. Oh, Logan Paul's on there and he's killing it. You know, the Roman Reigns, what a freaking star. Like that comes on the screen, comes right off the screen. So I'm gonna go with you, EC3. Is Drew in character? Does he really feel that way, or is this a combination of both?
Drew is a pro, and Vince and I talked about this on the brand. Like he's a professional, and sometimes when we become they ingrained in that profession so much, like Drew. Oh, he is his persona. He is his character. He's an extension of himself. So everything he's saying is not an attempt to garner, I'm a bad guy. It's like, this is what I believe, and I truly believe it. And what a great heel is justified in believing in what they're doing and what they're saying. So, yeah, Drew totally believes that, and he's right. So, like his buddies in the UK who probably came up watching him, probably some of them wrestled, and then they went off and had families and lived real lives like idiots. Who would do that? Not me. But when they check in or tune in and they see and like, what is this? Especially in the UK, and you know, those guys, they're trained as pros over there, a lot of them, and like take this very, very seriously as an art and a craft and a sport. So I can see his buddies saying that, and I could see Drew having the platform to say it so it doesn't come off contrived or like in character as a promo. But Drew's not afraid to speak his mind, and I love Drew, and he's right.
There you go.
I don't know about 85%, but it's a high number. It's when you talk to civilian people and normal people, and they, you know, talk about wrestling, and they notice these things. Like, you know, I used to watch it, but now I'm watching it. It's like, well, I don't know what I'm watching anymore. It looks like cosplay acrobatics of like little kids, or like, you know, no one knows how to talk. Where are the guys like The Rock? Where are the guys like Cena? Like, nobody can cut a promo. Nobody looks like they, not nobody, but a good amount, really. So, Drew also has dignity, like he's prime. Wrestling's weird because, like, you know, in football, the older you get, you kind of like slow down. In wrestling, the more wise you get and the more knowledgeable, more wisdom you have, and like your physicality as a grown man kind of increases a little bit. So maybe you're not as capable as Drew doing the top rope over the top flip every match right now. No, he doesn't need to. Probably could still bust it out. But we wrestlers age differently. So when you hit those like early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, and that's kind of like the prime of your abilities. And Drew's calling it like he sees it. So, and he's huge and a hunk, and I love Drew.
There you go. You know, it's interesting. You know, I think he makes a good point as far as the airport test. I mean, I think probably 85% of people, if you just look at them carry their bags, you know, onto the next terminal in the airport, you'll just walk right past them. You know what I mean? There's no shock and awe when it comes to someone passing the airport test. Vince, do you think he's got a point with the 85%?
Yeah, bro, I swear to God, that morning I came out with my show on Believe, and that was my headline. 25% of the roster are pros, 75% of total amateurs. I mean, that was the same exact thing. It's just funny, bro, because when you talk about did he mean it or did he not mean it, I would love, he goes on Logan Paul's show and he says that, okay? What is Triple H going to say to Drew? Oh, Drew, you can't say that. And Drew is going to say, why? Like, I don't know. How does Triple H defend that? Because what he's saying is absolutely true. And that's what a lot of people that watch wrestling in 2025 say. Yeah, I hear it all the time. I don't want to see my next door neighbor wrestle. I hear it all the freaking time. So it's like, what defense would Triple H have to say, oh, no, Drew, that's not true? I was telling EC3 the other day, Chris, I don't know. I think it was SmackDown. We don't do SmackDown together. But Chris, they got the 8-man car wreck. Okay. Not one dude is over 6 foot in the match. Not one dude. Bro, then they're doing the spot off the top and we've got the bowling pins. Now they're all down. All 8 of them are down on the floor, crawling around, and they're talking to each other of what they're going to do next. As clear as day. Bro, people at home are watching that saying like, they're not pros. If you see them talking out what they need to do next, they are not professionals. And that's the kind of stuff, you talk about the little stuff, Chris, that's the kind of stuff that makes people say, bro, look at this phony BS, man. That is not real. That's the stuff, man. And I think that's what Drew is talking about. We just want it to be believable. That's all. Just make it believable to us.
I think, too, to jump with Vince, like you mentioned, the 8 men. I didn't watch the match. Like the talking thing obviously makes people go, what is that? But when you mentioned 6 feet, I do think we're at a time and a place where light heavyweights that look like athletes are totally acceptable in the mainstream. So it's not going to be a knock on them. Like Tommaso is not 6 feet tall, but he looks like somebody. Beard, shredded, Shelley and Saban, they look like somebody. So I don't think it's not a detriment to necessarily size. I mean, I'm 6'2", that's in wrestling, so I'm 6 foot for real. It's that presence, that intensity, that look that you watch lightweight UFC and a guy's 155 pounds and like I can look at him like I would not fight that guy ever. He would rip me to shreds, even though he's this big. But he's wiry and he's lean. So it's like that presence is missing too. And I think that incorporates the 85%, not such a height thing. It's weird with Exo Pro and what I'm doing, the guys I'm building, platforming. Like I have a roster of hunks. And was that the intention? Of course. But at the same time, on the indies, it's hard to, find who's really serious about this. But I have this tag team, the main event, TME, Duke and Gannon, both 6'8", jacked. I have Pretty Boy Smooth, my cohort. He's going to be tagged with me at NWA 77, 6'9", jacked. We got dudes like Lord Crew, bikers, 6'3", 6'4", jacked. And I'm like, they're all good, great workers too. And I'm like, how are you guys, like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, you would be kicking the crap out of Derek Bateman in developmental. Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for these guys, because they're not slow plodding big guys of the past. They're athletes who move well, look the part, and are huge. And it baffles me why, like, I have the privilege of having that on a small little, show where the mainstream is like filled with people that could not hold these guys jock.
Well, why do you think that is? That's a great, I mean, why?
The Elvis Costello effect. Do you know that?
No.
I think it was Van Halen who said it. But Van Halen, comment below if I'm wrong. I think it's Van Halen, but Van Halen was being interviewed as something about, well, you're one of the world's most famous musicians, but all the critics love Elvis Costello. And Van Halen goes, yeah, because all the critics look like Elvis Costello. So it kind of like segued over into that.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's one of the things I think.
Yeah.
Do you think that Triple H, Drew McIntyre has been a guy that we've seen? What we've seen of Drew is that, yeah, he might get upset that a couple of things happened. He was upset about the Royal Rumble elimination. Yeah, he can ruffle cause a little bit of noise. But at the end of him getting upset and him causing some noise, he's still going to concede with putting Punk over and putting Priest over and putting he's still going to do putting Jay over. Like, he's still going to do those things. And being in a tag match against Jelly Roll, you know what I mean? Like, he's still going to concede to these things. Vince, do you think that Triple H, and we in another segment we talked about pettiness. Do you think that Triple H, in his mind, not saying that he would do it on TV, do you think in his mind there's a part of him that says, okay, we need to put Drew over? I mean, we need to put Drew against one of those 85%. And have one of those 85% beat Drew just to prove him wrong, because he did take a leak, on the business for a split second at least.
He protected the business. He took a leak on the perception of the business or the current format of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
Oh, that's okay, bro. Bro, you got to think about this too. Like, this is why, bro, I swear to God, and I will say this till the day I die. It's different with, EC3 is running his own promotion, but EC3 is a veteran, and the talent in his promotion are younger and they're rookies, and he's developing them. Okay, that's one thing. Triple H is a veteran. He's working with other veterans. Okay, that's a totally different ball game now. And Chris, this is why I say you can't be one of the boys and write and book and be creative. Because Chris, how do we know? How do we know part of the issue is Triple H isn't jealous of Drew McIntyre? Come on, Chris, you and I both know. You don't think it's not killing Triple H that he can't work anymore? You don't think that's not killing him inside? He sees Goldberg return. He sees The Undertaker on NXT. You don't think that's eating him up? And then now all of a sudden, look, bro, everyone Triple H has a problem with, there's one thing they got in common. They're all impressive looking. Okay, Drew McIntyre is impressive looking, bro. And need I say, Drew McIntyre is much more fierce looking and dangerous looking than Triple H ever was. Who else does he have a problem? Karrion Kross. I'm sorry. Who else does he have a problem with, Chris? Karrion Kross. What does Karrion Kross look like? Who else does he have a problem with? LA Knight. Bro, seriously, you've got to take that into consideration. This is a guy that really wishes he was still wrestling. And now he's seeing these guys that look better than him, maybe work better than him. You think it's coincidence that this is the type of wrestler that Triple H has an issue with? There's got to be a correlation there, bro, because it's happening too many times.
To be fair,
and all three of them have the ability to be and have been organically
absolutely
over too.
All three of them could have been on top of the company.
Yeah,
but I want to hear what
just like the guys you mentioned, the Drews, the Crosses, the Knights, myself. We all are who we are and have an aesthetic like we do because of Triple H. Like, he was our model of excellence as far as the bodyguard wrestling kind of thing. So, like, he's responsible for it because like we all like the locker room time, like, oh man, Triple H WrestleMania 17, holy shit, did you see? Oh my god, I was watching that again. Like, so he was always our sort of like paragon to Greek demigod physical stature.
I mean, and it's like, Chris, you could even throw in there now, throw in the fourth musketeer. I mean, freaking Damian Priest is totally lost in the shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
And again, Sami Zayn is who we're gonna go with. It's weird, bro. It's really, really weird, and there's got to be some of that going on, man, because those four guys are freaking money, all four of them.
What do you think the disconnect is, EC3, when it comes to those four talent passing the airport test, all of them, and having the ability to, all of them single-handedly be the face of the company, but all four of them are not?
Well, I mean, what makes it not a good wrestler, but like a great worker, what makes a star? A look, presence, appearance. Check, 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 check. Within the ring, can they go? Can they work? Are they able? Are they capable? Check, 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 check. Can they convince people to come to a show? Can they speak? Can they be creative within their characters? Check, 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 check. I see no reason at all on any metric that would gauge what a great wrestler is and what a star is, that those four affirmated men could be the face of the WWE. And then you even want to look at, like, sometimes, and this is a mistake I would make in the past, like being the good hand or the good soldier, like the guy that's, not going to like put their foot down, the guy who's not going to be assertive about their business and why they are the best. And like, when you talk about politics, it has a negative connotation, but the reality is politics is you trying to convince somebody you're the best person for the job. So politics isn't necessarily evil in wrestling. How you play them could be debated, but they're all guys who will stand on their merit, and, like, they're not going to put up with poop, but use the S word. Like, they're guys that are going to fight for what they believe in, or like to get the business across the right way. And they're all four professionals too. They're all going to do what the business requires at the end of the day. If they don't get their way, they're not going to poo-poo face or pout. Even the Drew thing, it could have been a work, but they're going to do business. And that is, out of every metric of a professional wrestler you'd want, across the board right there.
Yeah, very nice. All right, agree 100%. And by the way, you mentioned the word paragon. I think there's something about that term that would fit you as a character so well.
A model of excellence.
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
I stole that. Actually, the reason I became like so into words was a Jericho promo back in WCW when he called himself a paragon of virtue, I believe it was.
Yes, he did. Yeah. That's
what the hell does paragon mean? And then I read thesaurus. P. Oh, yeah. Stuck in the old dome since. Yeah, I'm a paragon.
You are a paragon.